Welcome back to episode 256 of the God and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and the responsible Christian gun owners' interest. On this week's show, we will be talking, or we'll be asking, are you scared?
Are you scared?
Are you scared, Doug?
I was scared earlier.
I think there's a lot of scared people out there.
I was.
They're not well worth what you might be thinking. We'll
Probably.
get into that a little bit later, though.
Probably not.
Probably not. Might be going a different path. Bandwidth sponsors Farms Radio Network. We want to thank those guys, gals, girls, whatever are all over there helping put all that content up on the interwebs for you guys to download at your convenience. Also,
Crossbreed holsters. You've heard Troy and I talk about it. If you're not carrying a Crossbreed, the most comfortable holster in the world, you should be. They got a holster for you. Check them out. Crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
I'm carrying the cross.
I'm carrying the cross too.
Got my super tuck on right now.
I do too. I just came back.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just came back from the trick-or-treating excursion with the grandbabies. So, oh yeah.
This week's God and Gun activities. Doug, what have you been up to?
Let's see. This week, I've been doing Sportsman's Daily Devotional, church on Sunday. I went with one of my other daughters. I went with my daughter Taylor and my granddaughter Riley to church last night. They had their fall festival thing. Dude, I kid you not. It was raining. I thought it would be rained out, but they cleared the sanctuary in the church, took all the chairs out, the whole 9 yards. They moved some inflatables in there, and then had everything set up inside. And we were there fairly early and got in, and we started kind of just rolling around looking at stuff, just waiting for them to finish up. When we got in on the floor and started, so Riley could trick or treat, and Riley's one, so it's her first one. So we got a stroller walking around with her and stuff. It got so packed in there so quick you couldn't even walk, and we decided just to go back out and go down to the children's church area in that building. They had hot dogs and candy and drinks and stuff. We said, well, let's just go get a hot dog and we'll come back when it clears out a little bit. Whatever. Dude, when we walked out of the sanctuary into the lobby, there was a line through the lobby, out the door, down the sidewalk, go down the sidewalk across in front of the other building, and it turned the corner and went down the road. Whoa. I said, where did all these people come from? And they were still piling in. My wife was going to come up there and try to join us so she could see Riley trick-or-treat her first year, get some pictures. And she said she couldn't even get into the church. She said traffic was backed up all the way down Watson Boulevard out in front of the church for like a mile, people waiting to come in. And I told my daughter, I said, this is just way too many people for me. I could care less about this. And she said, oh, I know. She said, we're done too. I was like, okay. Took us like 10 minutes to get out. And I saw the pastor put a message up on Facebook today talking about the fall festival last night. He said they had over 3,500 people come through.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, woo, that's a bunch.
Yeah, you better hope they had a lot of candy.
They had a ton of candy. So it was they had a good turnout to say the least. But
yeah,
man, there was people everywhere. But
we had Chris and I have been married for 25 years. We had trick-or-treaters the first year we were married. The next door neighbor's kids came over, and we've not had trick-or-treaters since.
Oh, really?
24 years, we've never had trick-or-treaters show up at the house. Not even our own grandkids. Not even cousins. Not even people. 24 years. First year we had trick-or-treaters, and we didn't have anything because we weren't really thinking about it. We were thinking about anybody showing up. I think we went there and grabbed a couple of $1 bills and said, here you go. We don't have no candies.
That's probably why they quit coming to your house. They're like, you don't give up.
So. Well, when you're newlyweds, and you've never had a household.
Yeah.
Even when I was living in Louisville, I don't remember having in my own apartments. I never had trick-or-treaters come. Of course, where I lived at, most people wouldn't bring their kids anyway. But
it's like, hey, trick-or-treat. Here's an orange. Sorry, that's all I can do for you.
Here's a half a loaf of bread, My yellow mold. The banana's pretty ripe.
Yeah, and some peanut butter if you want to make you a sandwich.
Yeah. Hang around a little while and whip you up some spaghetti. It's a,
Y'all come on in. Y'all gonna be the only ones here.
I'm sorry. I jumped on your train.
No, you're good. You're good. Let's see. Gun side. I have not done hardly anything with guns. I've been deer hunting a little, very little. No luck with a gun yet. I need to pick the bow back up and take it back out. I did clean my rifle a little bit the other day, but I wound up sitting in a little bit of a rain and it got wet, so I need to do it again. That's about all I've done in guns this week, man. I just haven't. I was showing Troy a minute ago. I did not trade my AR. I just put the AR in the closet and brought the deer killer out. So that's my Remington 700 in 30-06. It does got a crappy scope on it, but it was on there when I bought it. It's a Tasco. It's a world class. Was it 3x9 by 50? I think is what it is. It works okay, but for an old guy, if you notice, it doesn't have the focus.
Power relief adjustment.
Yeah, it doesn't have the focus on the back, so I can't focus it. So I can only see what my old eyes can see. So it makes it a little bit rough at times. But hey, if I can get him in there and tell it's a deer, he's done. It's pretty clear. It just ain't. It's not Vortex optic clear.
Yep.
Or Leopold or some of the Nikon, some of the nicer ones. Them Tascos used to be the deal back in the day, brother.
That's back when we didn't know no better.
That's what
It was Tasco or Burris. That was all you had back in
or
the day.
Simmons.
Simmons, yeah.
Or I still got a bunch of Simmons scopes, and they still work good.
I got a Simmons on my 1022s that I used to use for the Appleseed, and it's like it's a huge monster scope. But I mean, I could sit there and just chop out those little red coats on the targets at 25 yards or 25 meters. Sit there, cut them out.
Oh yeah, tear the centers out of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. What you been up to?
Let's see. On the God side, of course, Daily Bible Read been posting. Sorry, guys. Been posting a lot of Bible verses lately. Been reading quite a bit. I'd had an injury returning back from the Iraqi veteran shoot. I mentioned you guys, and you guys have prayed, and things have gotten better. So I'm getting around a little bit better now. So that's good. And then I had another injury come up night before last. All of a sudden, I see blood trail on the floor, and it's coming from the bottom of my foot, and I don't know why. And I look down, and like all the skin has been ripped off the bottom of my big toe.
Oh.
And there was apparently a big blister that had been down there that I didn't know about. So I guess it happened while we were out there, and it finally tore apart. I know people don't really hear about that nasty, but that's just my life. So I got another injury. I'm bandaging up for another 4 or 5 days till everything heals up. Old people, man, we get injuries. We don't know why.
No.
You know, where did that come from? I don't even remember doing anything to that. But I got blood running out. I remember my grandfather saying, I don't know where it came from. And I just started bleeding. I used to think, how could you not know when you got injured? Well, I'm getting to that age where I'm starting to have injuries. I don't know where they came from.
You know, the saddest thing with, I cut myself every once in a while, and I bleed a lot easier than I used to. I don't clot quite as fast. But for some reason, my kids think I fall down a lot, which I don't. The only time I really felt I did fall down in Arkansas last year in the water. But, that was just because I got my foot hung under a root ball and couldn't move it when I was stepping with the other foot. And, hey, sometimes you just go down. You can't help it. The other times, I think I'm almost pretty sure my son-in-law's pushed me down. I know one of them did, and he talked about that to this day. We were clearing out a little food plot, and there was a pine tree limb hanging down there, and we picked it up, was trying to move it out of the way so I could get that little groundhog that was behind my my 4-wheeler through there so I could disc it up. And I was pushing on it. He did something, and I don't know. It flipped back on me and knocked me down backwards. I hung my foot under like a pine stump. And when I stepped back, and he's like, oh, he was laughing. I was like, oh yeah, that's funny. You push your future father. He wasn't my son-in-law at the time. I was like, you push your future father-in-law down on the ground. I see how it's going to be.
I come real close to falling yesterday. I went and got some firewood, and somebody Barry said, hey, you want to get some firewood, go down to Gabe, down to a pallet company. He said they sell all the scraps, and it's all hardwood, and you just go down there and they'll dump a bucket load in your trailer, and it's like $35 or something. I'm like, that sounds a lot easier than going out in the woods and cutting up trees and busting wood and all that stuff. He said, yeah, I've been doing it like the last 2-3 years. So I asked my neighbor Lloyd to say, hey, you want to go with me on a ride? Because I thought we were just going to go down there and they dump it in my trailer and I come home, I get down there and say, oh, your trailer's too small. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, well, we dump it in dump trucks or in 16-foot tandem axle trailers, and your little 4x8 trailer is too small. But you can hand load it if you want to. Like, okay. So I backed up to the pile and we picked through it. We picked all the good, big old, thick oak pieces out of it. I packed that joker solid. It was like 2 ricks of solid oak blocks, like 6x6 blocks that are anywhere from 12 to 18 inches long. We stacked that joker full front to back. It was so heavy that it mashed the springs flat on my dump trailer. And $25. And I'm like, it took us about 45 minutes to load it because we picked through the wood instead of them just dumping whatever mess in there they wanted to. We actually got the good stuff out. And but I don't know how many times I fell and tripped over those logs. It'd been raining, it was muddy, and so I'm stepping on that stuff, and my ankles are doing this and twisting and backwards and forwards. I fall against the trailer. I slide down the hill. I'm like, man, I'm getting too old for this stuff. But Lloyd, my neighbor, he's in his 70s. He just going around there like a billy goat. He climbing up and down that pile, making me feel bad. So yeah, I was falling all over the place yesterday like a drunk. Had red clay all the way up my ankles where I was getting it down in that pile. Let's see. So as I get okay, I'm on my stuff now. Let's see. Did security Sunday at church. What else? We had a party at the house Sunday. The girls had a party for their friends to come over. And so we had like 25, 30 people, including a bunch of little bitty kids, running around here, and took them on a hayride and had a bonfire, and they had a bunch of games and stuff. And so that kept us busy. I did a lot of reading since I couldn't do for like 3 or 4 days this week. I couldn't do much. If I did very much, I would re-injure myself, and then I'd have to go re-bandage up until I finally got healed up Thursday night. No, not Thursday night. Wednesday night. I guess last night. It's finally quit. I had quit having to change bandages and stuff. So I just now started getting back out active again. What else? On the God side, it's pretty much on the God side. Gun side, of course, the EDC. Yesterday, when I got back from getting that firewood, I saw some German Shepherd mixed dogs at the end of our road, the end of our driveway. I pulled in, and I never seen them before. One of them had a collar, and so I go on to the house, and I see Gunner's loading the hay we used for the hayride. He was back over there throwing it in the barn, and I was proud of him. He threw all those bales back up in the loft from the ground. So, boy, stout. I was going to go help him, but he got done before I got over there. But took the wagon and pulled it around back to the back door for the firewood. And then went over, and I saw that those dogs was over and went across the road to my granddad's old house over the barns. And so I went over there to see what was going on. And Gunner was already leaving, he said that they were running around the house chasing some cats, chasing my cousin's cats that lived over there. He said, but they weren't really bothering anything. So I went and took the trailer he got done unloading, and I went and put it in another barn on the other side of the farm so it wasn't getting stolen. I have to hide things away and put locks on them. Around here, we got so many people just drive up and steal your trailers, steal whatever they can get a hold of. So I have to take everything and hide it and put locks on it, put trailer locks, hitch locks on everything, or it disappears. And so I was coming back, those two dogs was down by my cattle, and it spooked the cattle up. They were running down through there, and the dogs were all, they look like they've been chasing something, all tongues hanging out and all wild-eyed looking.
Mm-hmm.
So I hollered at them and tried to run them off. They ran up the road and dropped my neighbor off. And I come back to the house, and I saw him going away from the cattle on up the hill, and was talking to the wife. Got back to the house, was talking to the wife, and I saw him running back down towards the field where the cattle were at, and they were chasing a cat, and they went and they started chasing the cows again. So I took off, and with my truck, I went across the field, and I cornered them in a corner of between a barn lot and another section of fence, and was trying to run them on the other direction, run them away from where the cattle were. And I kept hollering at them. And I got out of the truck and started towards them, and both of them come running at me like they're going to jump me. And I was like, I reached in the truck, grabbed my AR out, and swung up and put a round about 2 feet in front of them, blew dirt all over their faces and stuff. One took off and ran around, tried to cut around me, and the other one started charging at me again. And I'm hollering, hey, whoa. And he's coming right at me with his ears back. And I throw another round right underneath of his feet because I don't want to kill nobody's dogs. But, I mean, they don't need to be up here chasing stuff around our farm. Don't need to be running around the farm. They don't need to be coming after me. Well, he stopped and he started growling. And the other dog was coming around behind me. So I swung around. I put it around about 4 inches behind his back foot. And he took off. He just went out of sight over the hills, heading east. And the other one started coming at me again. And I put another round right in front of me, right in front of his feet. And it blew rock and mud up in his face. And he whimpered. And, I mean, that dog was probably 30 feet from me, Doug. And he didn't have 2 rounds shot right in his, well, 3, that means third round shot right in front of his face. And the dude looked at me like he was going to come again. And I was getting ready to pull up and put a round in his head. Didn't have no collar on. That one didn't have a collar on. I was getting ready to put a round through his head, and he saw that it was getting ready to happen. And he turned and ran, dove through a barbed wire fence, got all cut up, and he went and dove through another barbed wire fence, yelping, and took off the other direction. And I followed him out all the way back over to 31, across the road. And I ain't seen him since, but I never had dogs come at me like they was going to do something for you. You ever had that happen?
Yeah.
I've never had them. Usually you holler at dogs they're on your property, ain't supposed to be there.
They'll run.
They go. These dudes is coming at me like they was going to do something.
I had some dogs come up on me hunting a couple weeks ago, bow hunting, and Matt's granddad asked me. He said, "Why didn't you shoot him?" I said, "One of them had a collar on, so I didn't shoot him." He goes, buzzards will eat around that collar. He was about gone, that's for sure. But if he'd made one more move towards me, it'd have been around right between his eyes. Because, I mean, I was generous in giving them some lead, but I was close enough that they would know that he was about to get hit. But the blast off of AR 30 feet in front of you? Oh, yeah.
Them dogs, normally they would turn and run and clear out. That one did after I shot right behind it. But they were some bold dogs. I don't know if they were, they weren't rabid. They weren't frothing at the mouth, and they weren't, acting like, mad dogs act. They were heads up coming at you, So that was just weird stuff. I have not had to deal with that before, but so what was it? Tuesday night, I got a text message I got email. I got text messages that I was need to be on a phone call, and I looked at the email that came right at the same time from Oath Keepers saying they wanted a conference call on the upcoming Trump rally Monday in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm like, this is the first time I've gotten a call from them about anything in the state. I mean, I've gotten calls to go other places across the country. And so I get on the call and I'm thinking, well, there'll be 40, 50 people in here. No, there's 5 of us on there. I'm like, what in the world's going on? My buddy Kevin's on there, and he's a local Lexington area guy, and he's an instructor with Revere's Riders. Previously with Appleseed, he was with, and then we've had connections on several other events since then. But he was on there. I went on there. We were the only 2 guys from Kentucky. The other guys were from Montana, Indiana, Illinois, and there was one guy calling in from China that that's a local, but he was in China at the time. So they're like, "Well, who's going to come to this? We need 30 guys there." I'm like, "And how many we got coming in?" And there wasn't nobody. So I get on the phone, start calling people. I start texting and I start emailing. I start posting everywhere on social media I can to try to get people to sign up. And so by the end of yesterday, we had 10 people. We went from pretty much 3-4 people to 10 people. I got in touch with Eric and the Borks group, and he said that they're going to send some people. I don't know how many. That he said he's going to get in touch with some people and try to get them there from the Borks. He said agents, so I don't know what that means. But we're going to have some Borks support, hopefully. And I got in touch with Kentucky Oath Keepers. It's a secure page, and I posted there. And I think I got 2 or 3 people liked it. Out of 270 people in this group. I posted some other places. The post got taken down. And I'm not going to name names, but people that I would have thought would be supporting. And this isn't really political. It's just people that are there. They're coming out and getting hit in the head by people from Antifa. We need to sort of protect those people. So that's the way I feel about it. We should try to protect people that are being attacked by communist thugs. It's pretty much what they are. And so Stuart Rose came on yesterday. For you guys that have watched the video, it's on our YouTube channel. And he was on his way to Mississippi because there's a rally there tomorrow. Saturday. There's a rally there Saturday. And they didn't have enough people in Mississippi. They didn't have enough people in Kentucky. He said they haven't had enough people in any of the events. And so that's why I've been on everywhere promoting, trying to get us some recruits. Because what we want to have is 4-man teams. So we want to have like 10 4-man teams is what we'd like to have, so that we can go in different directions. We could be coordinated. I've got my ham rig. I'm taking my mobile rig, going to set up and going to be like the comms guy or one of the comms guys. We're going to have like 2 guys set up, one on each side of the rally with 50-watt mobile rigs, and then we've got other guys with GMRS radios that we're going to what's it called? Use as a repeater, so we can transmit through the GMRS using a GMRS repeater. We've got 2 of those to set up, so we're going to be able to sit up and communicate and try to work this all through. So, but there's not enough men, and the guys that I know of that are going are my age, 50 to 60. There's no young guys. There's no big, young, beefy men stepping up. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show, but let's go ahead and keep on moving here at this point in time. EDC check. I'm carrying the Glock 30S as usual in my usual accoutrement. And I've also got the Falcor with me down here in the bunker tonight. I like I like my Falcor Reese. I'm getting more and more like it the more I shoot it. That's why I was shooting at the dogs or near the dogs. I wasn't really shooting at the dogs. I was trying to motivate them to get off my farm, but I like that trigger. That Geisley trigger is, man, it's smooth as glass. I love that Geisley trigger, and I like my setup. But that's I got my EDC. What you got?
I have the usual suspects also. I got the Glock 19 with my student of the gun night vision sights on it. Woo, that thing's dirty. I need to clean it.
Dusty.
It is dusty. I need to blow the dust off of it. But got it. Got my Crossbreed Super Tuck, and I just came in from outside, so I probably got a little bit more stuff. Extra mag in I got a mag in my pocket, which I can take that out now.
Most of.
I got my little. This is my knife. You always show your knife. I usually don't have mine here because I've already emptied my pockets when I get to the house. But tonight I still had it. Got my little Kershaw, which I love that little knife. That thing is, I give it a beating. I actually have two of them that are just alike, except I was using the other one for a screwdriver or something. I can't remember what I was doing with it.
Broke your tip.
I broke the tip off of it. So I actually need to just take it out and put it on the grinding wheel and grind it back down and put me a new tip back on it. But I'm fixing to buy another one though. I think I may go down one day this week down to my gun store. Hopefully, maybe they sold it and I won't have to buy it. But I want that company Spartan Knives out of Oklahoma. I think is where they're out of. Have that out the front knife. That's it's the double bladed with the sharp. It's got the real sharp point on it. Double bladed on both sides, and it's made out of that Damascus steel. And they had a good price on it. I looked up on their website. It was like $160, and they had it for like $99. So I want to go get it. I want to carry that thing. I like it. It's pretty slick.
I got my ghost mug with me tonight too. My ghost mug.
Oh, is it green?
It's yellow.
Oh, is it yellow?
See the Gadsden flag on
it? Barely.
You just see the shadow. It's my Casper cup.
When you hold it up there, it's got a because when you hold it up there, you can see through and see the God and guns behind you.
Mm-hmm.
I got my R&T.
All right, where's my show notes disappear to? We got some feedback.
We did get some feedback. Got some iTunes feedback actually.
Good deal.
October 27th says entertaining and informative, 5 stars by Jim from Missouri. He says, great show. Keep up the good work, guys. Look forward to it every week. I appreciate all you do to make it an entertaining and insightful podcast. It is a blessing to me and many others. Troy and Doug are a great combination. Thanks, you guys produce a fabulous show. Well, Jim, thank you very much for saying that. We certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, we always appreciate 5-star reviews. We could use all we can get.
Yeah.
So what's the comedy corner this week, Doug?
Comedy corner, a sheepish recovery. A devout old shepherd had lost his favorite Bible while he was out looking for a wayward sheep. 3 weeks later, a sheep walked up to him carrying the Bible in his mouth. The shepherd couldn't believe his eyes. He took the precious book from the sheep's mouth and raised his eyes heavenwardly and exclaimed, "It's a miracle." "Not really," said the sheep. "Your name was written on the inside of the cover."
Boom. Rim shot.
It's almost like the talking dog when I told that time.
Yeah.
He didn't do none of that stuff. He's such a liar. That's still probably one of my favorite jokes. I love telling that one.
All right. The Bible verse this week is a long one, as Doug announced whenever he saw it. And I'm like, well, it's going, it's sort of going to be a part of the main topic, but I'm not going to read the whole section. But I am going to leave it here for reference for you guys that want to look at the show notes and find out where my basis is that I'm coming from this set. And it's going to be you still there, Doug? I can't hear you. Am I gone?
No, you were gone. You're back now, though.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a router that's on the fritz. It keeps dying on me. I've been nursing it, and it goes red again. So if I disappear, I'll be back. I'll just have to reboot the router probably. All right, so Bible verse. I think the devil's working here. You guys be praying that the devil get off my internet. All right. Yeah, I still see I'm red, so I don't know if I'm chopping up or what. I hate doing this right when it's all messed up.
No, you're actually good at the moment.
Okay. So, verse 1. One day, Jonathan, the son of Saul, said to the young man who carried his armor, come and let us go over to the Philistine garrison on the other side. But he did not tell his father. Saul was staying in the outskirts of Gibeah, I don't know, the pomegranate cave at Migron. And I know I'm butchering these names up, but I'm rolling on. The Bible, the people who were with him there were about 600 men, including Anijah, the son of, well, we're going to skip all the genealogy here. So, verse 6, Jonathan said to the young man who carried his armor, come on, let's go over this garrison of these uncircumcised, that the Lord will work for us, for nothing can hinder the Lord from saving by many or by few. And his armor bearer said to him, do all that's in your heart, do as you wish, behold, I am with you, heart and soul. Then Jonathan said, behold, we will cross over to the men, and we will show ourselves to them. If they say to us, wait until we come to you, then we will stand still in our place, and we will not go up to them. If they say, come up to us, then we will go up, for the Lord has given them into our hand, and this shall be a sign to us. So both of the men showed themselves to the garrison of the Philistines, and the Philistines said, look, Hebrews are coming out of the holes where they've hidden themselves. And the men of the garrison hailed Jonathan and his armor bearer and said, come up to us, and we may show you a thing. And Jonathan said to his armor bearer, come up after me, for the Lord has given them into the hand of Israel. Then Jonathan climbed up on his hands and feet, and the armor bearer after him, and they fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer killed them after him. So Jonathan was slaying them left and right. The armor bearer was going and finishing them off. And that first strike with Jonathan and his armor bearer made killed about 20 men within, as it were, a half of a furrow's length in an acre of land. And there was panic within the camp and the field and among all the people. And the garrison, even the raiders, trembled, and the earth quaked, and it became a very great panic. And the watchmen of Saul looked, and behold, the multitude was dispersing here and there. And Saul said to the people who were with him, count and see who's gone from us. And when they counted, behold, Jonathan and his armor bearer were not there. So Saul said to Anijah, bring the ark of God here. I'm going to skip on past a lot of this. Now Saul was talking to the priest. The tumult in the camp of the Philistines increased more and more. So Saul said to the priest, withdraw your hand. Then Saul and the people who were with him rallied and went into the battle. And behold, every Philistine sword was against his fellow, and there was very great confusion. Now the Hebrews who had been with the Philistines before that time and had gone up with them into the camp, even they also turned to be with the Philistines who were with Saul and Jonathan. Likewise, the men of Israel who had hidden themselves in the hill, the country of Ephraim, heard that the Philistines were fleeing. They too followed hard after them in the battle. So the Lord saved Israel that day, and the battle passed beyond Bethaven. So what was that all about? Well, I think there's a shortage. Well, we know there's a shortage of leaders, especially godly leaders in our country. We can see that evident in the news. We can see that evident in the way that our country is currently being run. And what we need to remark upon in these verses, I think, is God showing us that it just takes one man who is fearless, in this case, Jonathan, that is willing to just completely depend upon God to give him the win. He's going by himself when he's got 600 of his dad's soldiers sitting back here in a cave sleeping. He's like, enough of this. Let's go up there and take care of this matter and get it done. And he turns to his armor bearer and said, how about it? And he said, yeah, I'm with you. Let's go. So all these guys are sitting back waiting. And it takes one person to make that decision. And he does it in faith. Jonathan was a faithful warrior. He was David, of course, David's best friend. Now, his dad was a nutcase, but that was a whole different other matter. That's because that Saul turned his back on God and tried to do it the way he did it instead of the way he was told to do it. Saul's power was withdrawn from him and given to David. But that's a whole other story we can talk about another time. But, the points that I want to make here that people need godly, fearless leaders. They need people who are not afraid of the enemy. We're called not to be afraid of men. We're only to fear God. We're to trust God to fight our battles for us. Jonathan here says God will give us the battle. God will go before us. Here in the verses, you see him say, God's going to lead us in the battle. If they say come up here, that's God's sign that we're to go in there and slaughter these guys because they were waging war against Israel. And so Jonathan said, that's enough of this. We're going to go up against these uncircumcised, these people who do not recognize God and God's power. And so he went in there. He climbed up the mountain, went into their garrison, and started laying waste to them. And what happened? God confused the minds of the enemy, and God caused them to be fighting amongst themselves. And he allowed Jonathan to go through and slaughter these guys left and right. And Philistines were the guys that were left over from the Nephilim. Remember Goliath and his two brothers? Well, that's the Philistines. So they were part of that. I don't know how deep in the woods I can get here, but they were a part of a big race of people. You remember when they came out of Israel and they said we're like ants to giants, right? The size of these people, they were big people. They were a lot bigger than the Israelites. They were a lot bigger in stature, a lot stronger. And they went through there and slaughtered them, not because of who they were, but because of who God is. And the God is the one that gave the win to the battle, right? So as believers, we need to make sure that we are raising up men of faith, and we're raising up and we're teaching them how to lead. The failure that we have in America is that we're teaching people to follow the schools and teach people to follow, not teaching people to decide, make decisive actions and trust that they're going to be able to succeed. Yeah, you're going to fail from time to time, but you got to have a leader. And if no one's willing to step up, then everybody's going to look to a leader, whether they're good or bad, because they're going to be subservient. They're going to be not trusting in themselves, or they're not trusting in God to do that, to fight the battle for them. And you don't, go off into battle by yourself in one day. Jonathan, of course, had many battles, right? He was a hardened warrior. He'd been through many, many battles, and he saw how God had worked. And so in order for you to grow your faith to the point where Jonathan had his faith that God was going to take care of that, you start every day by giving God everything that you have a concern about, everything that you have a fear about. Give it to God. And when opportunities come up to be a leader, be a leader. You can't become a leader if you're always following. When someone gives you a position of leadership, whether it be a Sunday school teacher or working with the kids or at work that you're going to lead a new project, step up and take that and say, with God's help, I'll be able to do this and become a leader. Don't sit back and wait for somebody else to do it. We see that all through. I mean, this week has been just disheartening to me of all these people who brag, and I'm not naming any names here, but all these guys are big and bad, and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And if somebody comes and does this, I'm going to do that kind of stuff. They popping off on this social media stuff. None of them volunteered. to go and help protect people from getting hit in the head with bike locks and stuff like that coming out of a Trump rally, minding their own business, going back to their cars. We need people that are bold and they are not afraid to step up and to volunteer. But they're hiding behind, oh, my wife won't let me do that, or I don't know if I can get off from work. Or, dude, make a decision. Step up and be a man. I'm so sick of these guys running around and acting all big and bad on social media. But when the time comes for somebody to step up and do something, they stay at home. They watch their football game or they pretend that they got some other thing they got to do. We need to inspire people with a vision. If you're a leader, you need to be developing new leaders to fill in behind you. You need to be teaching them the traits of a leader. You have to be able to make a decision, right or wrong. You're going to make wrong decisions, but you can't make right decisions unless you know what wrong decisions feel like, right? You're not going to be perfect in every decision as a leader. You got to step up and you got to do it. I failed as in leadership positions before. I failed over and over again, but I keep going forward. I keep trying to do the right thing, and it works out. God comes in behind and helps make things work. But you can't do it if you don't step up and trust God's going to be with you. And so the only way you're going to have faith is you've got to be reading the scriptures and knowing God's promises for us as believers. If we will follow him and we will trust him, and if we will put our faith and trust in him alone, and if we will do what he calls us to do, God's always calling you to do something. You may not feel like it, that you're leadership material. I'm telling you what, there ain't very many guys out there that are stepping up. I mean, Gideon was the smallest man in the smallest tribe of all of Israel, right? And he led the Israelis to defeat all those, guys that were attacking. Smallest man, the smallest thing. And out of the people they took, God whittled them down to 300 out of, was it 3,000 that they had? They kept whittling down, and they got down to 300 men. It's not about you. It's about God. God is the source of the power. And when you're going to be called to a leadership position, and if you're following God, God's going to call you to do things. You may not be leading the army. You may not be leading the whole church service and doing something, but you might be leading 4 or 5 guys into doing the project, or you might be leading somebody in your work. There's all kinds of opportunities God's going to give you. He's not going to start you at the top. He's going to start you out with little things. But if you continue to be obedient to God and listen to his call, and when opportunities come up, step up and take the position. Don't shirk from it, guys. There's too many people running around hiding and afraid. And so that's where I'm going with this. Are you afraid? I think we got a whole bunch of men out there that are afraid. And I don't know why. I mean, the worst thing to do as a believer, if they kill you, that's the worst thing they do to you. And you get heaven. Okay? Now, your wife might freak out. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what wives do. They freak out. Right? They try to tell you, oh, you stay back, you'll be all right. You got to be a man. You're the head of the household. I'm not saying that you be disrespectful to your wife, but men have to step up and be men. We're given certain skills, certain abilities, certain physical attributes, and certain commands to stand and defend, to stand in the gap. And guys, you need to be stepping up. That's all I'm saying to you. So what we saw here is Jonathan goes and he starts this battle with the Philistines on his own. Well, he's got his armor bearer behind him that's finishing him off. He's knocking them down. The armor bearer is going and running them through. But what happens? The other guys sitting back on their butts in the caves, taking a siesta. They say, hey, man, what's going on? When you start an action and start moving in a direction and start leading a battle, people will join you. You'll have people come in and join you. They won't do it on their own. They need someone to guide them. They need somebody that inspires them, someone they can follow. God calls us to lead others. God calls us to follow those spiritual leaders in our lives, those guys that have a vision about what God wants to do. You're called to get in and work with them until you are a leader yourself. And, you got to be teaching this to your children. You got to teach them, hey, there's going to become challenges and it's going to be scary, but you got to say, God's going to be with me. I'm going to go ahead and take the lead. I may make mistakes. I may fail, but I'm going to keep on until I succeed. And if you aren't teaching that to your children, you're doing disservice to them because they're going to be followers all their lives. And God's called them for a whole lot more than to follow some lackey around. That just because they've got an ego, they go out there and try to lead. And there's a lot of really false leaders out there that are leading them down the road to hell. I'm just saying. Um, so the first thing about being a leader is you've got to die to yourself. Just as a believer, you got to die to what your desires and wills are, because inherently we're going to just do the easiest, laziest thing we can as a fleshly person. We would rather go watch TV than go out and stand in the rain and defend people from getting hit in the head with locks. It's an inconvenience to drive 2 or 3 hours away and go and do things that you're not comfortable with. But what will you gain by staying at home watching TV or watching the news where only 6 oath keepers showed up and 50 or 100 bunch of Marxists come with bike locks and and, uh, and pipes and stuff and beat people into a pulp and put them in the hospital? People, you got to stand up. If you're men, you're called to stand up. You're called to go by faith that God's going to defend you. And this is not I'm not trying to make this political. If people were beating up Democrats coming out of a thing, I would be there trying to defend them too. Okay? There's no reason somebody's got to go and start hitting people in the head, spitting on them, trying to kick them in the, knock them on the ground and kick them like a mob does. These communist mobs, man, we got to wipe them out. We got to stop that stuff. So, the spiritual side of it, back to the Bible verses, we see that Jonathan is showing us example of a leader. Even these dads sitting back there taking a siesta. He says, God's going to give us these guys. God's going to let us have the battle. Let us win the battle. And we're going to go do it. Everybody else is sitting, and they go in there and start it. Well, everybody else starts joining in afterwards. Well, good. We need all the people to join in. But guys, there's enough of you out there listening. There's enough of listening to this audience. Be a leader. Go out there and take the lead, and trust that God's going to have your back. And when you do that, you'll inspire other people to become leaders. You'll inspire other people to follow. You'll inspire other people to not be afraid. Because the worst they can do to you as a believer is kill you. And all that does is make the gospel spread. When we start getting martyred, the gospel will spread like wildfire. That's what they pray for us in China, by the way, that we will come under persecution so that we'll be refined, that the ones who are just casual Christians that just go to church for a good time and some music are blown away like chaff, and the ones that are serious, true followers of God are deep in the Word and are out there promoting the gospel. And so that's my encouragement to you guys. Be leaders, step up, learn, teach, and recruit. And so, again, that was 1 Samuel 14, 1 through 23. I sort of summarized it because there's a lot of genealogy and a lot of people being identified in there, which really wasn't pertinent to the verses. Doug, jump in here and tell me.
Hey, I can tell you right now, you know as well as I do, there's been times you're like, public speaking used to be my fear. Oh my goodness, it petrified me. But until you start doing it, you get better at it. Like anything else, the more you do it, the better you get, the more comfortable you get.
Well, that's fear you have with it.
It is. It's the fear that lets you that keeps you from doing anything. And I tell one of my daughters all the time, her daughter is afraid to do stuff like that. And she just says, oh, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. No, she does need to do it because she's going to learn from it. I can tell you one of the very first times that in church, dealing with church and doing stuff, the pastor asked me, and this is back when my dad was really sick, and he had cancer, and I wasn't, he was a deacon in the church, one of the best guys you'd ever meet, and I could not understand why God would put something like that on somebody like him. That's a whole different story. But anyway, so I was not in the best place in my life at the time with God, and we were going to church because I was taking the girls to church, and the pastor of the church came up to me and he said, "Hey," he said, I want you to do me a favor." I was like, "Okay." And I'll do anything for anybody. If you ask me, I'll do it. He said, "I need you to lead a discussion group we were studying Rick Warren's The Purpose Driven Life. He said, I want you to lead one of our groups." I was like, "Me? You want me to do this?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, I don't think so." And he's like, "You can do it, man." He said, I'll help you through, and show you what you got to do. He says, "Really easy. You just play the DVD and talk and lead the discussion." And I was like, I'm thinking the whole time, I ain't going to do it. Two reasons. One, I don't want to be there with them. And secondly, I don't need to do this because I don't want to, because I don't like standing in front of people talking. Well, he convinced me, and I said, yes, I did it. And one of the best blessings I've ever had in my life, because it helped me so much by doing that. And it was a God thing, it was. And now, obviously, I don't have any problem talking to people because my wife tells me all the time, I got "talk to me" wrote on my forehead. We can go someplace and, I can strike up a conversation with anybody. And I have no problem with it. But you never know. If you say no, that you're not going to help, you're not going to do this, you never know what blessing you're going to receive or who you're going to be able to help and influence that may be trying to make another decision. Troy and I have said this all the time. We can relate to things in our life that younger people are going through now because we've done it. We've been there. We've been through it. And I think God puts that stuff in your life so you can help somebody else down the road. That's the way I look at it, because you got life experiences. And if you always say no, you're not going to do it. You're not going to stand up, and it's just like all the Antifa people. I don't know if you saw it the other day. There was a video that was going around. A bunch of Antifa people were antagonizing this poor old man and woman that had a walker trying to cross the street, and they're standing in front of them yelling and carrying on. I wish I could be there when they did that crap. I just really do, because I can promise you I ain't going to stand for it. And I know you ain't going to stand for it, Troy, and a bunch of our listeners ain't going to stand for it.
Yeah,
I am a sheepdog. I promise you.
Yeah, my router's acting up. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
I got you.
Okay. Yeah, and we're not going in and starting beating heads. That's not what it's about. We're going to try to keep things calm. And the thing about having those volunteers there is that it keeps those guys back.
At bay.
They're not going to come there and try to come swinging something when we're in there wearing a helmet, wearing a vest that says Oath Keeper Security, armed, and as many big guys as we can get. I mean, there's a lot of bigger guys than me out there that I really wish we had coming. And maybe they will. Maybe they'll show up. And I'm praying for that. You guys pray that people will show up, because we need numbers. We need big guys. We need little guys. We need people driving cars. We need people that's got medical experience in case somebody does hit somebody with a pipe or a bike lock or something stupid. We need people to step up. We need Mississippi on Saturday. We need Kentucky on Monday. So you guys be praying that we have a safe weekend, that everything will go well. And it's not right that these communities police are stepping back and letting people get beat up. That's unconscionable. That should not happen. But when you get in these big cities where these venues are, you've got liberal mayors and liberal police chiefs, and they're just letting it happen. And so If not us, who's going to stand in the gap? Who's going to try to protect these people coming out that are innocent? Last week in Dallas, they had a guy that was a veteran came out, and he wasn't with the Oath Keepers group. He was walking out by himself, and he got beat up bad, put in the hospital because these guys are looking for someone to pick out and to try to hurt. That's what communist thugs do, and so we got to have people stand up, man. We got to have people stand up. It's not fun and games. It might be gritty. It might not. But the more people get out there, I guarantee you, the better chance it's going to be a nice, peaceful night.
I was going to say earlier.
A few.
I was going to say earlier when you was talking about it.
We'll get back off that rant.
10.
Still with me, Doug?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Are you with me, Troy? Or are you gone again?
I can hear you. It's breaking.
There you are. Yeah, you're coming and going. I was going to say 10 Oath Keepers against 100 Antifa basement dwelling, video game players is probably a good average. I'd put 10 Oath Keepers up against that pretty much any day of the week. But of course, you can always use more. There's no doubt. But like one thing I was going to mention that Stuart said on the and you and Stuart, I can't remember which one of you said it, but
yeah,
I can't be in Lexington Monday, and I can't be in Tupelo on Saturday. But what I can do, Trump is going to be doing a lot of these rallies, and these guys are going to be protesting every time they show up and wanting to raise Cain, and they want to pick out weak people. They want to pick out older people, somebody they can intimidate and influence. Stuart said it. I can't remember if it was Stuart or you, but you can go on the website, go ahead and get vetted. And if there is a need and there's a rally or someplace that they could use you closer to your home, that you're not that far away from, that you could run to after work or on a weekend, Saturday morning or something, go ahead and get vetted now. And that way, when they do need you, if it's close enough and you want to go, when Troy makes that call and says, hey, I need somebody in Atlanta, Georgia, I'm gone. I'm going to go because I'm already vetted. I'm good to go. They look for, help me out here, Troy. They look for law enforcement, retired law enforcement, any retired military, active duty military if you want to go do it. EMS, first responders, EMTs, EMS, any of those people, comm guys. Troy's taking his ham radio stuff up there. And help out with the comm so they can communicate with each other. If you got any of these skills, do it. We all took the oath. Do you have to be prior military or prior law enforcement or first responder? No, you do not. You just have to get vetted to do it. They let regular people can do it. Did I lose you? Oh, Troy just texted me. He's rebooting his router. He'll be back with us here in a second. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. The first responders, any military guys, if you got any of those skills, communication skills, if you got a law enforcement background, if you were a cop in the military, that kind of stuff, by all means, get out and get vetted to do this. Go out on the website for Oath Keepers and do it. I tell everybody all the time, I spent 20 years in the military. I took an oath when I joined, and that oath never expires. It's going to be with me forever because that's the oath I took, and it is ingrained in me, and it is part of me, and I'm not going to back out on that. So anytime they need me, I will go. I will go and do it and help out any way that I possibly can. I can help out. Well, I'm not a ham radio guy like Troy and some of you guys out there. I probably should be, but I'm not. But I do communication stuff. I work computers, networks, and that kind of stuff. That's what I do. So there's all kind of avenues that you can help out. If you have your concealed carry, I think the one in Kentucky and the one in Mississippi this weekend, both of those are constitutional carry states. So you don't have to have a concealed carry permit to carry. Now, I think Troy said, and he can clarify this when he gets back on here in a minute, but I think what he said was that if you do have your concealed carry, they would like you to conceal carry and hide it away, not be open and carrying, because they don't want to provoke nothing or anything like that. You can wear your vest and just make sure it's under a coat or something. So, yep. Are you back with us, Troy?
I'm back, I think.
Hey, so I was just telling that we were going over some of the Oath Keeper stuff. I told him, I said, law enforcement guys, military guys, if you got any kind of skills with comms, medical, that kind of stuff, by all means do it. Go ahead and get yourself vetted and get in there. And that way, if it comes to you in an area where you make that call and say, hey, they're having a rally in Atlanta, Georgia this weekend, and we need some help, you're already vetted.
Right. And if you need help with gas and rooms, if you're traveling from outside the area, Oath Keepers will reimburse you. So they have funds to reimburse you. If you're not able to go, so you're physically not capable of going, you're feeling your age is past for that. If you can donate funds to help fund these guys to come from out of state and to have a place to stay when they have to come in there and do the security, that's a benefit. Mm-hmm. If you're not a member of Oath Keepers, you can join. You don't have to be ex-military to join. You can join as an associate. That's what I am. I'm a lifetime associate member. And what happened was they asked me, hey, can you do this and this and this? Because we were short on people. And so what did I do? I said, okay. And so I took on 3 jobs that I didn't really need, because God has called me to step up and to lead whenever I'm given the opportunity. My default is no, I'd rather stay home and hang out with the kids, or, go and do something else. But I'll go because God, through other people, have called me to do different things. Now, is everything that you're called to do good? No. But I think that standing up for innocent people to keep them from getting hurt is a very good thing to do as a believer. And I think it's a way to represent God amongst the Oath Keepers and amongst the community, because I'm going to be wearing, a God and Guns patch probably on my apparel. So if you guys are able to go, you'll email Scott. Okay, Scott's email address that you're going to email is oathkeepers, letter OK, at gmail.com. You'll need to send like a driver's license. If you got a concealed carry license, that'd be helpful. Send that as long as well. Any kind of special skills you got, let them know. Any kind of military background, police background, or if you just got, I'm 6'8", 285 pounds, all muscle, let them know. Because what they're trying to do, guys, is they got to vet everybody, because they don't want no nutcase coming in there causing a problem. We don't want to exacerbate the problem. So if you're able to come in there and you got a level head, you're not a hothead that's going to go in there and start some kind of problem, we need you, right? And so they were going to put you with a team of 4 guys. And so if they're looking at team members, they're going to say, hey, okay, we got a guy here that's ex-military. We got a guy here that's is an EMT. We got a guy here who knows comms. We got a guy here that's 6'8", 285 pounds of muscle, or we got somebody that speaks Spanish, or we got, so they're going to try to mix those teams up to be very good composites, right? So they're going to accentuate each other. So that one guy's got strengths in one area, one guy's got strengths in another area, so you've got a good team that's got the skill sets. The more skill sets in a team, the better they're going to be, right? That's why they need to know the information. Hey, I know CPR, I know whatever skills that you've obtained in your lifetime. Let them know just a general synopsis. It's not a whole bio, just like boom, boom, boom. Here I am, and they're going to run a background check, and then they're going to send you information. Okay, here's where we're going to meet at. This is what you need to bring. This is what kind of clothing we'd like you to wear. All that information can be answered at that time. But guys, if you're coming, you're going to need a hotel room. We got like tonight or tomorrow, right? So if you're going to need a room and you're driving from out of state, let them know. Okay. Let them know. Say, hey, I'm going to need a room. So that way they can make a reservation for Sunday night or Monday night, whichever time frame you're coming there. We definitely need them at the end of the night. So if you can't go all day, but you can come after work and you can help from like 5:30, 6 o'clock when you get from work until we get everybody back to the car safely, like 11 o'clock or something. That we need more than anything. We need people there that period of time. But we got to know you're coming. So we can have the equipment and stuff like that. If you got radios, if you got ham radio, Bring them, like HTs. If you got a mobile rig or something like that, let them know. If you got GMRS radios, they can give you a code you can get in, or there's all kinds of different radios we can cross modulate with and get communication. So there's some apps that they'll have you download that help us keep track of people as they're moving, so we know if a team gets separated from the group, or if one of the team members gets separated, we know where they're at. We can go in there with the team and get them out. The team is going to be there to support you, right? You're not going to leave. We're not going to leave a guy behind. We're going to stay together as a group. We're going to fight together as a group if we have to get out. But we're going to go in there and try to be a calming influence on Marxist morons. And so we're going to need you to step up. We really do need you guys to step up, and not just in, like Doug was saying, not just in Mississippi and Kentucky, but there's going to be other events as the years go on. So, all right, we sort of beat that horse to death. Ways you can help out. You got anything else, Doug, before I move on?
No, I don't think so.
Come on in there. Don't let me run you off.
No. I was just trying to think if we covered everything. Oh, one last thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
One of the things that the left is trying to do right now, every time you see anybody running for political office on the Democratic side, the first thing they want to talk about is taking your guns.
Yep.
Every time.
Yep.
And if you are in the Washington, D.C. area this week, Saturday, it's Saturday, right?
Saturday, yep.
Saturday, they are having a rally, a 2A rally in Washington, D.C. If you're in Virginia, Maryland, any of those surrounding areas, man, go down there and show your support for the Second Amendment. Our buddy Anthony is going to be one of the guest speakers down there. I think Evan Knappen is going to be down there. A lot of folks are going to be down there.
John Patton from Farmers Road Network, a bunch of Farmers Road Network.
I think Rob Pincus is going to be there as well.
Rob Pincus is going to be there. Tony Simon, I think, is going to be there.
Tony's going to be there.
Yeah. So as many people as can get there, the better. I mean, this is another opportunity to stand up and be counted. If you can't make it to this thing, make it to that one. Stand wherever you can and stand for our rights, because we've got Marxist people trying to take our rights away, make us slaves. That's the basic, simple boiling point of this whole thing. You boil it all down, they want to make you a slave of the state. You destroy the Constitution, you unleash the power of the government upon the citizen. And then we become subjects, not citizens. And then we become subject to what they decide, whether we live or not, or whether or not we got to pay taxes, or whether or not we can have property, whether or not we can have guns. And they're going to take our guns if they ever get that. It's going to be a battle. Let's try to prevent bloodshed. The way you prevent bloodshed is you go out there and you peacefully march, and you peacefully let them know, hey, you're not taking my gun, and it's not going to happen. Be bold. Don't be afraid.
Exactly.
Be big and bad on social media. Be big and bad in public. Come out there and put your faces out there, right? I got people cuss me up one side down the other, tell me what they're going to do to me. Come out here in public and do it. Stand up, man. Don't be afraid. Yeah. I know there's a bunch of people out there that say they ain't afraid, but you prove it when you get up and get out of your chair. You get in a car, you go somewhere, you stand out in the cold, the wind, the whatever, the rain, and you make yourself presence known. That's when you're showing something. Sitting back at home and clicking on your keyboard, they don't prove nothing.
Mm-mm.
Just saying.
They my friend down here in Georgia last night, we did get a little bit other kind of listener feedback. Anyway, my friend Matthew Martin last night, buddy here in Georgia, had sent me a thing. I don't know if you guys have saw it or not, but there's, I think he's an Army veteran in New Jersey, had some problems, and long story short, the police came into his house. He was wounded in combat and had been home for a couple years. Now, I may have the story.
Yeah, you're generally right.
Generally, he came back from combat. He had a Foot Locker that he had not opened up in quite a long time. They came into his house. They were looking for stuff for another reason. opened the Foot Locker up that had came because he was hurt in combat. So his stuff was shipped back to him.
Mhm.
He lives in New Jersey, a communist state by any right.
A communist-run state. I don't think it's
Communist run state. Yes, communist run state. So they opened up his Foot Locker and they found 2 AR-15, or those were
M4 mags.
A4 M4s, but they were mags.
Yeah.
30 round mags, just like that. Military issue in his Foot Locker that came back from Iraq. He got arrested, taken to jail, and now he is fighting to not become a convicted felon in the state of New Jersey because he had 2 empty magazines, doesn't even have a rifle. He doesn't even have the gun.
Right.
Doesn't even have an AR-15 that would fit in New Jersey.
Right.
But he is going to be going to jail. So anyway, Matthew had hit me up with his story and said, hey, is there anything that you guys from God and Guns can do? I'd already heard from another friend that he had secured Evan Knappen as his attorney, which is the best thing he could possibly do in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Anywhere if you can get Evan to come represent you. But Evan is he's a 2A attorney. He knows gun laws like nobody else's business. And if you ever want to know anything about a knife, he can tell you that too.
You know, the thing is about this is that these guys are making criminals out of honest citizens. I have patriotic men who go and serve their country, get blown up and come home. And they got a couple empty magazines left over from the war as mementos or whatever that was shipped back with his box. And they want to throw them in prison. That tells you the mentality of this democratic, socialist, communist party. They want to try to put everybody that's got a gun in jail. I'm serious. They are not people we want leading our country.
Having that.
If you guys don't go to the polls and vote, you get what you deserve.
This right here, that little magazine right there could get me 5 to 10 in the state of New Jersey for just owning it, for just having it and not possession of it, just having it in my car.
A standard capacity magazine. That's not high capacity. That's what that gun was designed to shoot.
It is.
That's standard capacity magazine, 30 round. Sick.
It's ridiculous.
Sick people. Evil people.
You guys have
got to stand up against this stuff, man.
You guys have heard us tell stories about up there. And like our buddy Anthony always says on his show up there, which is Gun for Hire Radio. Yep. If you're a podcast guy and you like listening to podcasts, go listen to it. Anthony's a good dude. He's on the board for NRA now, so hopefully he's going to be helping make some change up there with that. But he is a good dude, owns an indoor range up there. I mean, just a beautiful facility. But he's fighting the fight, man. He is. And he's taking it to him every day. He doesn't want to move out of New Jersey because New Jersey is his home. That's where he lives. That's his business. So he's not going to bail out and try to go to someplace else. He wants to take up for the people in New Jersey. And that's what Troy and I are talking about. You got to fight for what you believe in. You can't just sit on the couch and say, oh, Anthony will do that for me.
Yeah, or it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
My if I go, it doesn't really make any difference.
Oh, you live in Georgia, Troy. You know, that's stuff that happens in New Jersey ain't never going to come down here. Well, let me tell you, Stacey Abrams ran in the state of Georgia for governor and almost won, almost pulled it off. It was close enough that it was nerve-wracking.
We got a liberal right now running against our governor. The governor had signed in constitutional carry in our state, and they're neck and neck according to the polls. I don't really believe the polls.
No, I don't.
I believe Bevin will blow him out, but he's as liberal as they get. He's a piece of work, man. His dad was a piece of work, a liar, stole money out of the government, and he's come along trying to do the same thing. He's had lawsuit after lawsuit against our governor trying to stop him from doing his job. Because he ran as not special counsel, attorney general. He was attorney general of Kentucky. He used the office to try to stop every action that Bevin did. He used every way he could to abuse his office to try to prevent Bevin from being a successful governor and getting all the jobs we've gotten in here now and trying to improve things. And, you know, we could go back and forth. I know I've got a lot of school teacher friends that hate Bevin, but Bevin is the man. He's the man in the room that's saying, "Hey, look, these politicians before I came into office blew all your money on their own little special deals and programs and kickbacks and crap." Excuse me for cussing, but they've blown all this money, and then now I'm here trying to clean up the mess that they've left, and you won't blame me. They're blaming Bevin for all the corruption and the mess that happened with the Democrats running the state for the last 40 years before. They've just obliterated the retirement plan for the teachers unions. And they want to try, and the teachers unions blaming Bevin, who came into office with this already on the case, this already out there, that there's not enough money to pay for all these retirement plans that are out there. And I'm sad that it's happened, but it's not my fault as a taxpayer that I should have to pay for this. A corrupt administrations previously that did that. And the whole thing is that he's moving the teachers unions from being a state funded retirement plan to being a private funded retirement plan. The new teachers are going on the new plan. The old teachers will retire with the benefits they were supposed to get. But we can't continue forward because it'll bankrupt the country, the state by 2030. I'm getting way off in politics, but I don't mean this to be political. But you guys go out and vote for what is right, what is honest and true, and make sure that you're doing your own research because there's so much lying going on in the press right now. It is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. I mean, straight up lies. They just are making stuff up. And so I'm gotta get off my soapbox.
It ain't just me, it's Capitol Hill too, doing the same thing.
Oh yeah. Well, don't get me started there. We'll be losing listeners left and right if I start flying into the politics.
Hey, I can tell you in about 2 seconds why they do that because I was in politics and you were in politics. We both know how it works. The older generation, it does not matter, and they don't necessarily have to be older, but that seems to be kind of where it lies. Mm-hmm. If somebody posts an article in a newspaper or puts it on the news and gets it out there first, whether it's a lie or not, if they read it and it's in the paper, it's gospel.
It's gospel. And they only read the first 2 paragraphs.
Exactly.
And so they don't put the truth into like page 3. And so they don't get the full story. They get the pull quotes that are lies. They twist the titles of the articles around to make it sound opposite of what they actually are. And they are just bold-faced lying on TV. I mean, it's just propaganda TV now. I can't even hardly watch Fox anymore. I can't watch nothing no more. I mean, I just have to get in, dig the articles out myself and read it and get to the bottom of it.
I told a press guy one time that quoted me. He quoted me completely out of context and wrong in an article. And he came back a few councils later, whatever, and wanted to quote me on something. I told him, I said, I'm not talking to you. I said, unless you do your story right and get it right and quote me for what I said and put it in the right context, I said, I'm not ever going to talk to you again.
Yeah. That's the thing. You got to stick to very narrow, defined talking points, or they'll take it and they'll twist it and try to make it into something else. It's a mess. Let's move on, Doug. We're going to keep people up too late. Their candy's going to burn out of them. They'll fall asleep. Patches and stickers. We still got patches and stickers. I just got an order right before the show started. I saw it ding up there. We got an order, so we appreciate it. Got somebody wanting to call them.
Hey, do you have any shirts left?
I've got 2 4X shirts left, I think.
Oh, just 4X?
I think I got 2 4X. I might have 1 kid shirt or something. I think everything else is sold.
Oh, we're going to get some more. Jay, I'm chatting over here on the YouTube side with the guys, and Jay is on listening tonight with us for the first time. He was at the Bulwarks class with me, it's rifle class.
Cool.
And he was asking where he could get a shirt. I told him, I said, we'll just email you, but we got started talking about patches and stuff. So Jay, give us a little bit. We're going to get some more shirts.
Yeah, we'll get them going again. I've lost my chat again. So if anybody's trying to talk to me, my chat's down for whatever reason again. 2X. Okay.
2X.
All right, so where was I at before I was so rudely interrupted by myself? Let's see. All right, show notes. All right, so you can help us out. Use our DeVore link, DVOR. It's a clearance house for Optics Planet. I pick up all kinds of cool stuff, like the shirt I'm wearing tonight.
And Divorce has some good stuff this last week too.
Oh man, I got some awesome stuff. So if you need kind of cool sporting goods, electronics, night vision, optics, check them out. Use our show link, and they'll send us a little bit of love if you guys buy something. Hoplite Armor, our affiliate, we are affiliate of Hoplite Armor, and if you guys want to buy some armor, contact our buddy Lyman Bishop up there at Hoplite Armor. Use our link, and we will get some love. Zija, I talk about Zija a lot, and I take it all the time, and I'm down another 3 pounds from last week. And so I'm slowly creeping up on my size. All my jackets now are big. All my coats are too big. I'm moving into the jackets I haven't worn in 15 years.
There you go.
And I'm wearing pants that I haven't worn in a long time. And I've got hats that are starting to get loose on my head. So my big fat head's getting a little smaller. So slowly but surely it's coming off. So if you want to know more about Zija, see my testimony and see the different products out there, go to godandguns.myzija. It's Zija. It's Zulu India. What's J? Juliet Oscar. No, Alpha.com. Man, you think I know that stuff being a ham guy. All right. All right, you got the next couple?
Hey, Crossbreed holsters. You heard Troy talk about it. I just took mine off so I could show it off. So this is my Super Tuck Deluxe, and you can see that it is well worn. I got it broke in. It fits nice. It works nice. I do got to tighten that little screw up right there because it's a tad loose, but fits good in there. I carry it all the time. Had it on tonight. Works great. Crossbreed makes a holster for you. It doesn't matter what you carry because I just saw that they fixed it. They had one for a high point the other day. So if you can get one for a high point, you can get one for anything. So,
oh my, you went there.
I did go there. So Super Tuck Deluxe is awesome. I carried it the Racky Vet 88 shoot the 2 weekends ago. I used the drop slide. I carried it in it, and I really, really like that holster. It is very nice. Only bad thing is it's not like the Super Tuck where you can just pop it out and take it off if you need to and go. You got to take your belt loose to get it off. But it works great. They got the belly band. They got the bedside backup. They got the freedom carry. They got all kinds of holsters, man. Go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. And if you use our promo code GNG, they will give you a 10% discount on your order when you check out just for listening to Troy and I and using our promo code. So you can't beat that deal with a stick. Let's see who else we got. Axelson Tactical. Hey, Jeff and those guys have been doing some auctions and stuff, and they've had some really nice guns that they got out there. Last week they were running a special on what was it? I think it was an M4, I believe it was, and they had $200 off on it. So good price. Troy and I, a new friend of mine, Jay, who shot at the Bulwarks class with me, got to see my Axelson because that's what I shot at the class. And Jay actually got a coin. So congratulations, Jay. Yeah, you hadn't been on here, but congratulations to you for getting that coin. I will get one next time, I hope.
There's a carbine class coming up here in Kentucky late November 25th, I think. Maybe you come up here and coin on it.
Really?
Oh, you got a class coming up.
Well,
that's a pistol class.
They won't let me coin. They won't let me try to coin out on a rifle or a pistol class, will they?
Nah, you have to come up to Kentucky and shoot that.
Hey, I tell you, the next time I do it, I am going to put a red dot on it, and that's what I'm going to shoot. I'm going to have it sighted in at 25 yards, and I will coin the next time if I'm not compensating the 4-inch drop that I have on my hog killing rifle. But the Axelson Tactical shot flawless. It never jammed. It never messed up. I mean, it is just a tack driving gun. it will only perform as well as its trigger man, which I didn't do my job well enough to get the coin in that. But it was not the rifle's fault. I promise you, it is a very nice gun. If you're looking for a nice gun, dude, I'm telling you, I want one of those Axe 19s so bad. The Glock 19 that they soup up and customize. I want one of those so bad. I'm going to talk to Jeff and see if I can't get a T&E gun out of him. That would just be cool. But anyway, they got a lot of stuff out there. If you're looking for guns, they got different guns on their website. They run some pretty good deals. They'll also give you a 10% discount if you use our promo code God and Guns. And so go check our buddies out, Axelson Tactical, and it's AxelsonUSA.com.
Good deal. Back to the show notes. All right. So Interius Alliance, we are Interius Alliance Life member. God and Guns is, and those guys and gals are great people. They've veterans and first responders and people that went out and started their own companies, and they support our veterans and they support first responders with their charity work as well. And so if you've not seen any of the companies over there, there's a bunch now in the Interius Alliance group. So go to InteriusAlliance.com and find out what all the companies are in there. If you want to become a member, they have annual memberships. I think all life memberships are sold out, but you can become an annual member. You get discounts off of all the products that are sold through the Interius Alliance, and every dollar that a portion of every dollar that you spend goes to help out those charities. So check those guys out. Bulwarks, we've got a Bulwarks discount code. Doug, what's that?
God and Guns.
God and Guns. So you hear us talk about Eric and all the guys and gals over at the Bulwarks. Doug's got a class coming up. I've got a class coming up. I got a shotgun class coming up. You got a pistol class coming up. There's still some seats in those classes. So if you want to be on the range with Doug or I, get down there and sign up. And if you use our coupon code God and Guns, you get a, 10%, 15% discount?
It's fit on the pistol. I don't know if it works on all the classes, but I know for the pistol class in December, it's December 14th and 15th here in Georgia in Andersonville. It is 15% off. So the class is like normally $285, I think it is, for a 2-day class, which is not bad for a 2-day class in itself. I mean, that's cheap. Yeah. But if you use our promo code when you sign up, it's 15% off, and it takes it down to like $250 a person. So you can't beat that. And the guys at Bulwarks are just, I can't speak for everybody because I've only met Eric and Jesse, but man, two top-notch dudes, and you'll learn a lot. Yeah. More than you can imagine.
I've been with all the instructors except for, I guess I've never had a class with Jesse before. Seems like I've met him before, but I've had with the other 3 instructors, and all great people. And so you won't be disappointed with any of the instructors. Great guys and gals.
Hey, so
we got 2 girls. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Say it.
They've got 2 female instructors now that they're doing girls only classes and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I think Karen's one. I can't remember the other girl's name, but I'm trying to get Krista and Daphne into some of those classes.
So I have a doctor at the hospital that's been talking to me. He found out a while back that I hog hunt with night vision stuff. So he got talking to me about that, and he asked me to be friends on Facebook. Okay, cool. Well, apparently he was looking at some of my stuff I was posting the other day from my Iraqi vet shoot, and I happened to be talking to him a day. He's like, "Are you a gun guy?" I said, "I have my moments a little bit." Why? I said, "What you got?" And he said, "I saw some of the stuff you was posting, man." He said, "I need to go hang out with you sometime." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Anytime." And I got to tell him, he was talking. He got started on his own. I mean, you talk about opportunities that just hit you. He was talking about wanting to take a training class for a pistol for him and his wife. I said, "Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, we got one coming up." And I told him all about it, and he sounded very interested and wanted to take him and his wife down.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm thinking about sending Gunner down to that class because I think that's the last pistol class for the year till like springtime.
Bring that youngster down here.
I think I might send him down there. I don't know. I'm trying to get him into some programs, and we'll get down there someday. NRA Armed Citizen, Doug, what we got?
Let's see, what do we got tonight? This came to us from August the 18th in Spartanburg, South Carolina. A shopper successfully protected himself outside a Lowe's home improvement store, shooting and killing a man who appeared ready to attack him with a 4-foot long piece of lumber. The attacker had earlier been confrontational with a shopper inside the store, but appeared to leave after the shopper walked away down a different aisle to avoid him. However, he had only gone out to the parking lot to grab the lumber from his truck and waited until the shopper came out of the store to threaten him again. And that just didn't pay off for him. So,
yeah, 4-foot piece of lumber would hurt. They said these Antifa guys got flagpoles that are weighted, so they look like a flagpole, and they come down and hit you in the head with it and try to knock you out. That's a lethal charge. That's a felonious charge. There, you hit somebody in the head with a pipe.
Hey, when we're talking about this stuff right here, I just want to say something else, because there was a video that was going around again, and it's been out for a little while, but it was a man and his son in a store. And I just want to tell you, if you're carrying a gun and you don't carry one in the chamber, you're just waiting to get hurt. Yep. And this video, they were getting robbed. The man pulled his gun on the robber, and as he was trying to rack the slide back to load his gun, the guy shot and killed him and his son.
Yeah.
So, if I hate to put it bluntly like this, but if you're not comfortable enough with the gun that you're carrying, you're going to carry a gun on you, and you're not comfortable enough to put a round in it because you think it might go off, you probably don't need to be carrying a gun.
Yep. You need to get training. If you're afraid of your gun, you need to get training. Because people carried revolvers, and they didn't have an empty chamber unless it was the old Wild West ones that were single action, but people carried revolvers all the time, loaded chamber. But all of a sudden now with the automatic, we can't trust it. It might actually shoot somebody, but it's because you ain't been trained, man.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to operate your gun, you get out and get trained, learn how to operate the thing, learn how to safely use the thing, and then you won't be afraid of it. And you can shoot people when they come and try to attack you instead of sitting there jacking with it, or sitting there going click, click, and can't want to figure out why it's not shooting.
Why is it not?
You don't know bullet in their chamber. That's why.
I've had people come up and tell me that they don't carry one in the chamber, and I'm like, you're just waiting to get hurt or dead.
Yeah, you got time to jack no round in that chamber. No time.
No, like I told you, man. My buddy put it to me in that concealed carry class I took, a couple years ago. Most gunfights last 3 seconds, or less. If you can pull a gun from a concealed carry and put a shot on a target in less than 1.5 seconds,
yeah,
1.5. You're going to win 90% of the time.
Yep.
Now, somebody could be faster that trains and could be faster, but if you can do it that fast, you're going to win. And I was watching that video when that guy pulled that gun out of his holster and came up and was trying to rack it. He was already at about 3 seconds, when he was trying to rack it to shoot the guy when he got shot and killed.
The guy already has his gun out, right?
Yeah, the guy. Yeah. He had the robber had the gun out.
As a person who is carrying, you're on the losing side of time already, because that guy's already out. He knows what he's getting ready to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to react to that. You ain't got no extra time to play with. Safeties all over these guns and stuff. If you train, taking that safety off as you're drawing, you can do it. These 1911 guys are cocked and locked. If you train that way. If you aren't training and you're trying to carry a 1911 locked, no round in the chamber, you're a dead man.
Oh, yeah.
They could beat you to death with their gun before you could ever get around loaded in the chamber and fired. So if you ain't out training, you ain't out practicing your gun, you're not proficient, you're not hitting targets. If you can't hit your target, if you ain't able to pull your gun out and hit your target in a deadly zone, most people get shot by pistols, keep doing what they were doing before they got shot by pistols. You got to keep shooting until you take the pump out or you take the switch out. The switch is the spinal column, turns off the brain from the body. If you ain't hitting that, they may not ever stop. They may not stop. You may be long dead before they ever quit doing what they're going to do. You got to be able to get the gun out, get it on target, and shoot. If you ain't doing that, you just making yourself. You just got a token, a totem pole. What is it called? A token. You think that you're safe because you have a gun on you.
Oh yeah.
If you don't know how to use that thing, you don't know how to do it quick in a hurry and be moving out of the path of the guys where he's shooting at, getting off the X, stand there flat footed, get you dead. You gotta be moving. You gotta be moving towards cover, and you gotta be able to put the shot in the right spot quick.
That's one of the cool things about the Bulwarks guys, man. You're moving when you're shooting in that class, and a lot of people are used to like, oh yeah, I do a inch group at 100 yards. Well, you're sitting
flat-footed,
or you got a gun in a lead sled and shooting down range. Okay,
paper target.
Yeah, at a paper target. Oh, good for you. I'm glad you can do that. But if it come down to it, could you protect yourself or your family or or a friend or whoever, or like the Oath Keeper thing? If somebody started, and pulled a gun, could you do it? If you ain't got around the chamber, I can promise you ain't going to do it
in a crowd.
Yeah,
around people. And you're responsible for where that bullet goes after it leaves the backside of that person, assuming you hit them where you want to. Yeah. Sometimes there ain't a shot. Sometimes you got to go to the ground with the dude.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you got to use force on force. Sometimes you got to put that dude in restraint. He might have a knife. Are you able to take a knife away? Are you able to get away from a knife? Knives will get you killed faster than a gun.
Yes, they will.
And they're a lot closer to you.
They're a lot. They're way closer.
Your situational awareness needs to be keyed up, dude. We're going to be putting people to sleep. We're going to keep going to.
That's enough of that. I'm sorry. I just wanted to bring it up because that's been out there for a while, but and another guy at work had said something about not carrying, one in the chamber. And I'm like, I showed him the video too. I said, this is what happens when you don't carry one in your chamber. This is what could happen to you. Could you win possibly? Yeah, maybe. But the odds ain't in your favor.
Yeah. I mean, as concealed carriers, we should have the back of other concealed carriers. If you're walking around and you're not loaded, you don't have my back.
No.
You ain't got my back. If you ain't practicing, you're liable to shoot me in the back. That's the scarier part about it. People that haven't had any practice or training, and you're in close proximity to them, they're jacking around with a gun they're not familiar with because they keep buying the new gun every month that comes out because they think it's the coolest new gizmo out there, and they don't know how to shoot the one they had, the last three they had. Get out there, learn your weapon, and it's a tool. It's not a fancy thing. It ain't no toy. It's a tool, and learn how to use that tool and be a master at that tool.
I don't know. Can you see that, Troy?
Yep.
There it is, right there. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Slide wear.
Yep.
I carry this joker all the time.
Yep. You see it on mine too.
The only time I don't have this one on me is if I'm carrying the 45.
Yeah, this one needs to be cleaned as well.
Yeah, mine does too. It's dirty.
Yeah. This time of year, and you're wearing big clothing and stuff, it gets a lot more dust or something in them. I don't know, just a lot more skin shed or something.
Plus, it got kind of wet the Iraqi Vet 88 shoot.
Oh, you haven't cleaned since the Iraqi Vet shoot, but it is funky.
It ain't too bad.
My trigger well gets dirtier faster than anything.
I know.
It catches everything. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. People gotta go to bed. They gotta get up tomorrow and stuff. Send your feedback to Troy@GuyandGunsPodcast.com or Doug
at GuyandGunsPodcast.com. Sorry, I was reading on YouTube. My bad.
Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review like our buddy, somebody Jim did. And we appreciate that, Jim. And I lost my show notes again, and I'm trying to get back to them. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Guy Guns Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Please subscribe. We got like a whole bunch of new viewers since I posted stuff over on Oath Keepers and stuff. So I think we got like 30 new YouTubers in the last day or two. So please subscribe if you're not. Hit the little icon so you know when we're going live with the show. Follow us on Twitter at Guy Guns Pod. Search for us on Instagram. Search for us on MeWe. Our website, Doug, where's that at?
We're still working.
We're going to go to a different platform, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah. We're getting off.
We're going to Squarespace. Where are we going?
Probably Squarespace.
Okay. So, Doug, until next time, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close. We keep your Bibles closer.
Good night, guys. I don't know who all's still left over there, but we appreciate you coming hang out, John. Jay
Bill
Donovan, all our regular buddies out here. Anybody new? AJ, Andrew.
I don't know if Andrew's still. He's been quiet. I don't know if he's still on there or not.
He may be past his bedtime. He might have ate a whole bunch of candy and then went toes up.
I should have asked him. I should have asked him earlier. Good night, Jay. Jay just said good night. I need to ask Andrew if they're back down in Guatemala yet. If he's listening down there or not.
Don't know. Hey, you guys give us a thumbs up if you're still out there, please. We appreciate it. And we will talk to you guys later.
Y'all have a great night.